ticketing cost for our tournament. So we pay our coaches to be there. The yellow is the sliver of advanced fee rentals. That's what we pay to have the rentals, and then the small lighter blue is our batting cage cost. So, with that said, let's talk a little about the registration form. You should have seen when you first logged in, it shows the $575. That's kind of our target. We had to do our budget before, all the cost and everything was kind of finalized, even with USSSA. So we're trying to stay and stick to that $575 budget. So that's where we're headed. We don't know if there's going to be a price increase with USSSA tournaments yet, but at the end of the day, I don't see that number really changing too much. So we're going to stick with that as much as we can as a hard number. But let's talk about sponsorships and how we do sponsorships here. So you're taking a look at the top right-hand corner and you see the cost of the $575. So you go out and, I tell you, if you frequent a restaurant somewhere or a dry cleaner somewhere that you're always in and out of there, these are great opportunities for you to say, hey, we're looking, my son's playing and we're trying to get some sponsors, and we can even advertise for you, and we can give you some forms and we can direct you on the website as to where that is. But so they give you a check for $325. And so these are rough numbers. So say they give you a check for $325. This is how we break it down. We bring that check in and say that you promised them a banner, you promised them the website. The only real hard cost in here is the banner. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to deduct the cost of the banner out of your sponsorship money. So out of that $325, we're going to take $45 out of that to cover the banner cost. The $295, the remaining amount, 100% of that goes towards your player's registration, right? So cost is $575, sponsor gives you $325. We deduct the $45 for the cost of whatever it is, banners, plaques, whatever you promise them, whatever that cost is for us, we're going to deduct that so we can pay our vendor for getting it done, and then the remaining balance goes towards your player. So that's probably more your traditional sponsorship piece there. But you may get a corporate sponsor, and this is how this works. So kind of the same scenario, $575, but this sponsor, $800, and you've promised them kind of a lot of things. But we're going to do the website, and they just want to get the $800, want to be a corporate sponsor. We're going to take care of them, put them in the newsletter. So the real only hard cost in this scenario here is that same $45 for the banner. So what we're going to do is we're going to deduct the $45 from the $800. The remaining amount is going to pay off your total cost for the season of $575. There's going to be $180 left over of that $180. This is where FBH and our 501c3, this is where we're able to kind of bring some fundraising monies into the organization. So that $180, you play baseball for free. The $180, that's kind of an excess, that will go into the FBH system, and we'll use those dollars to help with getting some tools, pushing this organization forward. So the one thing we want to kind of talk about here is family cost first, and then FBH. We want to take care of the families. We want to take care of your cost first, knock that out of the way, and then anything in excess would go towards the program. The other option that we have, say that you're unable to get a sponsor at all, and you're going to have to pay the $575. We do have payment plans. Now, the other part of that too is if you have a sponsor and you have a small portion remaining, we can still help you out with a payment plan there. So what I'm trying to say here is we're here to try to help you. The thing we have to do is make sure that we have our costs covered as we start the season. We want to just tell you we got swag. I mean, everybody else talks about swag. The Angels have swag. So if you go to our website where you had to register for tryouts, you had to register to be here tonight, you'll see up there fan store. We had a different fan store. We've now taken it kind of in-house. The first one we had a couple parents buy some stuff, and I wanted to see the quality and asked those parents to bring them to me, and kind of looked at it, and I'm like, man, I can do this better. So we have. So we've rolled that in. We've rolled out a new store online. So check out the store. You know, we have hats, we have shirts, we even have custom jerseys, which are super cool. So if you want to have the same jersey as your player or your child, you can have a game jersey with, you know, your child's name on it, and be able to wear that out at the games, show your support for your team and for your player. This slide, super interesting tonight. And this slide was actually already in the deck before the events that occurred earlier today. So by a show of hands, how many of y'all received an email right around New Year's that said, hey, reminder about this event? Yeah, not too many hands. How many of y'all got a test email today? That sounds a little bit more like it. So communication, that's like one of our big things here. And, you know, we failed. And as I mentioned earlier, I think in the presentation, we're going to make mistakes. Our Blue Sombrero platform, for whatever reason, did not push that update out to you guys. It was supposed to send everybody that had registered and paid their deposit, supposed to get notification. A lot of y'all did see the Facebook communication, so want to talk about that. One, we did get the platform fixed today through Blue Sombrero and Dick's Sporting Goods, so we do have that's up and running. The other thing that we encourage you to do, especially if you're a social media Facebook user, please go on Facebook, like our page. I want to say, and I do Facebook, but I'm not that into Facebook. I think there's like a way to pin our page, and you can get updates anytime we post something or update something. It will show up in your feed immediately. The other piece that we did, I'm not going to name any names, but you know, this is one of the recommendations that was brought to us by a parent, and he may be sitting right over there probably trying to take credit with his hand up, was GroupMe, and that worked out really good. So, you know, as we start to get the teams together and get everything set up, the coaches, myself, you'll get a GroupMe invite for your team. And then your team can communicate, your coach communicate with you. And, you know, the nice thing about it is parents, you know, we talk about the village, you know, to raise a kid. You know, it takes a village to run a baseball team and a baseball program. So this allows all you guys to be able to interact with each other and talk, you know, without a text. I don't know how many of y'all have ever gotten the dreadful text message chain. By a show of hands, how many of y'all been in one of those? Yeah. Super fun, especially when you start off with 12 people and then you somehow end up with 16 people that you don't even know how they got to 16, and then you end up with 9 and end up missing some of that information. So GroupMe is awesome, much better than text messaging. And then even Game Changer, that has some communication stuff in there. Usually I find that dads like to poke fun at each other back and forth in that communication channel. So all of our tournaments that we set up is through USSSA up here in the upstate. So what I did is I went back and just kind of looked at the different parks that we've played at over the last year, just to kind of give everybody kind of an idea. Because that's one of the questions, like, hey, where are we going to play? So Tiger River, which is in Reedville, really nice ballpark. BSYAA, where we partner with, they're in Boiling Springs. They have hosted some tournaments. Midway Gaffney location, Moms. If you're going to go to one of the tournaments, this is the one. My understanding are the outlets are right across the street, so you can get some baseball and some shopping in all on the same weekend. So really nice other location there is Heritage Park, and that's in Simpsonville. I'm sure nobody, especially in our organization, has ever heard of JB Red, which is out in Easley. I think that, especially for our older guys, I think that that's the only place they have the big fields, because it seems like it's the furthest, and it's the place we get every single weekend. Lakeside, I think that's Piedmont area, usually hosting kind of the younger, smaller kids and programs. And then Constantine Park, that's right there in Molden. I want to say it's the old Braves location. A couple more things just about tournaments is that even though we sign up for a tournament, we don't know anything about the tournament until the Thursday prior to going into the tournaments. So we're registered, and then Thursday, USSSA will actually post the schedule and will tell us at what field location we're gonna be playing at and at what time. So the coaches don't know, the organization doesn't know until that Thursday before. So with that said, let's take a look at what the season actually kind of looks like. So 12U baseball practice, that will begin probably late February, in February, they'll start practice. And late February, early March, we should start to see 12U baseball games begin. Now, 12U, they're really kind of the lucky ones. 12U and under with the Angels, they get to play in tournament baseball, and they get AB baseball as well, which is advanced baseball. Is baseball games during the week. So we will typically practice twice a week. With the advanced baseball, this allows us to practice, have a controlled practice with the coaches, with the players, more instructional, more technique stuff, and then later in that same week, whatever day it is, they'll end up playing, dressing out in their uniform, playing another advanced baseball team within the county. And I don't know about y'all. I do know back when I was a player, I didn't mind going to practice, but man, did I love to play in the games. So, advanced baseball is a great opportunity for these kids to get more field time, more game time experience. And it's also a good opportunity for our coaches to kind of take a look at players in some different positions that's not in a tournament game. A lot of faces I see in here, I know, and we all know that you can't go into a tournament weekend with only four pitchers. Especially if you're trying to make it through a Sunday. So, you may have your number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 pitcher, but then it is, hey, who's behind them? Who's going to carry us? Who can take us another couple innings? Well, what AB baseball does, and it's not just for pitching, it's for every position, but what it does is it allows the coach and even the player the opportunity to get that mound time. Get those opportunities to make mistakes, get on the mound, struggle, let the coach let them sit out there and work themselves out of it. You're at 2 outs and they give up some runs. Get that third out, continue to pitch that game. It also builds their confidence, and it gives them that mound time that they may not have had, and starts to teach them the control. And it gives that coach also the opportunity to see what opportunities or techniques need to be done, which kind of goes back to kind of my point about, even though we're practicing, rather it be with the Angels, and we do have instructors here that can do lessons with you. Your players wanting to get better, get to that next level. Lessons are really a must. You really need to look into some individual lessons. We cannot, with the coach on the field and a team practice environment, you really can't get all of the individual attention you need. The key there is to have those conversations with the coaches. What is my